Hello everyone, it's Max here, and today we are back again looking at another piece known as the Portsmouth. So after last time exploring Where is Love, today we return with a more energetic and lively piece. The Portsmouth is an English folk song that is also known by the title The Portsmouth Hornpipe. The song is a lively instrumental tune that is usually commonly played on the fiddle or violin. While we are not entirely sure of the origin of the song, what we do know is that the song is named after the city of Portsmouth, which is a major naval port in southern England. It is possible that the song was written or adapted by sailors who were based in Portsmouth or who traveled through the port. This version of Portsmouth that we're playing is published in The Dancing Master, which is a collection of traditional fiddle tunes for country dancing, published between 1651 to 1728. The song has become a popular tune since then for dancing and is often played at Caileys, a traditional Scottish-Irish social gathering dance. Now, this will not be the first song that you encounter in the ABRSM curriculum that has something to do with a sailor song or a sea shanty. And one of the main reasons why singing or these kind of sea shanty songs are important to sailors is because it helps them coordinate their work. So sea shanties, or songs that are sung by sailors, provides a rhythmic structure for these tasks, allowing sailors to work together and coordinate their efforts more effectively. Another reason is probably something that you can imagine, which is that a lot of times sea work or life for sailors can be quite boring and dry. So singing sea shanties serve as a form of entertainment for sailors to pass the time. When we are playing these pieces, it is important to capture that sort of energy that they have, because they are trying to lift their spirits up. They're trying to keep their morale high, and it is important that we keep that in mind. Okay, now I would like to quickly talk about 4 technical aspects that you want to focus on if you want to perform this piece well. First and foremost, it is important that we recognize some basic phrasing in this piece. There is not a lot of pauses of this piece. You basically go from the beginning to the end without pausing. So if we're not so clear about where the phrasing should be, it will be quite overwhelming to the audience, because it just seems like we're talking on and on and on and on and on and on again without pausing, right? So the first thing we can do is to simply look at the music, study the music sheets. The first clue that we get from the music is from the start. The first note begins not as the first beat of the music or of the bar, like we normally see, but is on the 4th beat of a bar. So what it tells us is that the phrasing does not normally just start from the beginning of the bar. If we look at the dynamics marking, this will give us another evidence, which is that in a few places, the dynamics start on the last beat. For example, in bar 9, for example, in bar 17, we have a mezzo piano, mezzo forte all start on the last beat of the bar. The change of dynamics is not always the case, but sometimes a good indication of where we should start a new phrase. Knowing this is important, because then what we can do is that we know where a phrase ends, and much like speaking, then we can try to have a bit of a pause so that people know, the sentence is finished, we are about to start another sentence. For example, bar 9 before the mezzo piano will be a good place where we end the phrase and start another one. Another interesting thing that we should notice is that when a piece is starting on the last or the 4th beat, it gives us an idea that we are lifting the music up before starting. So instead of right, almost as if you're giving people, in this case, people who are dancing, a chance to know that, hey, music is coming in. So get ready. So that they will be prepared and then they can come in on time. It is also interesting to note that some of this phrasing is less obvious. For example, when bar 17 comes, we have what we call the mezzo-staccato. We set both the tenuto and the staccato. If you have a look at the music now, from there on, it is not necessarily the case that we need to focus on that last beat. For example, in bar 20, nothing is happening except for the fact that we want to try to play those half beat notes right and even. Okay, they're serving as a passing phrase. So have a look, and I hope that it helps. The second technical aspect of this piece is obviously the key. We have a B flat in this case, which for those of you who are using a sticker, that means you have to play off the sticker for the first finger. One key thing that students sometimes forget is when they are playing the B flat, either they play it not flat enough, or then they start moving or confusing where the thumb should be. Alright, so as a result, it is extremely important that we train our finger so that whether we are playing B natural on the sticker or B flat, the thumb doesn't need to be compromised and doesn't need to move. There's a simple exercise that we can do. It's just B flat, B natural. Right, so it's this part of the index finger that is gliding along the neck of the violin, but the thumb itself should remain unmoved. If you find it difficult, it is important that you spend some time on this so that one, you will be able to play in tune, and second, your first finger is active enough so it will be able to move quickly and accurately. Just a quick note, I have published also a practice video, and there's a phrase at the end, bar 46 and 47, that I've picked up, in which there is one bar, very quickly you have B natural and B flat as well, right? It goes like this. So if you haven't checked it out and you find it helpful, please go and have a look at the practice video. Alright, the third aspect is in terms of the mezzo-staccato notes, which we see in the middle of the piece. And of course, this is going from bar 17, the last beat of bar 17, all the way to bar 20, as well as bar 22 to bar 24. What mezzo-staccato is that it directs you to play the phrase with a smooth yet pulsing articulation. So when we are playing, we're not necessarily just doing a staccato. We are also not doing a legato stroke or tenuto stroke. We need to use a slightly faster bow, covering a bigger part of the bow, but also stopping at the end. So I suggest when we first start, practice open string first. You can start from somewhere in the middle part. Make sure that each time the sound comes out as powerful, as even from the beginning to the end, and not going soft. You want to cover more or less the same portion of the bow, down bow and up bow. Bring it back to the starting point. Index finger, check the point of contact and make sure that you're applying a little bit of pressure, both in terms of pushing and in terms of pausing the bow. Right? So once you find yourself able to play these notes with a very, very consistent sound, you can then speed up and then try to add the notes in. Finally, after getting all those previous things right, knowing where the phrasings are, being careful with the first finger's intonation, after practicing the mezzo-staccato and you feel comfortable with the whole piece, the only thing that you want to remember at the end is that lively energy. So have fun. Don't forget that ultimately, after all those practice, you want to be expressing something. And in this case, different from the previous one where it's love, it is the energy, it is the fun that you want to do. Because ultimately, imagine that you are an instrumentalist that's playing for a group of people dancing, right? You want to get them to move. So it is extremely important that you bring that energy out when you play. And with that being said, those are some of the techniques that you want to pay attention to. Good luck and all the best in practicing this piece. And if you have any questions or you want me to cover any piece that you're currently playing, leave the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, and you can check out my practice videos as well. And I hope they are helpful to your practice. I will see you in my next video. Bye!